Hello, welcome to the second video of the chapter. Today we're just going to look at different angle relationships and uh, learn what they're about. The first one is, there are two words that you've probably seen before. An acute angle is an angle between 0 and 90 degrees, and that's not including 0 or 90. So it has to be above 0 and less than 90. And here's a picture of that. An obtuse angle is an angle between 90 and 180, and again, not including the 90 and 180. So it looks like this. It's greater than 90 degrees. Now, a 90-degree angle we call a right angle. Now, we denote a 90-degree angle with a little box. So whenever you see a box like that, you know that it must be 90 degrees. Now, a term that you might not have heard before is adjacent angles. Adjacent angles are two angles that have a common vertex, that's the point that they meet, and have a common side. Here is the common side in these adjacent angles, but no common interior points. So here's angle 1 and angle 2. We said they're adjacent because they're next to each other. Here, angle 1, 2, and 3, angle 1 and 2 are adjacent, and 2 and 3 are adjacent. So hopefully that makes sense. A linear pair is a pair of adjacent angles uh, that with non-common sides that are opposite rays. So the opposite rays go out here. So basically you have a straight line, and this line is cut into a pair of two angles. So line, pair, linear pair. Now, vertical angles. Vertical angles, if we have two lines that are crossing, they're the angles that are across from each other. The definition is two non-adjacent angles formed by two intersecting lines. Congruent. This is a big word for this class. We'll use it a lot. Um, when something's a shape, it can't be equal to another shape, but we'll use the word congruent instead. So this shape AB and CD, they're the same size, so we'll say those are congruent. They're equal in size and shape. Um, Now, what we do is we have an equal sign with a little squiggly up there, a little tilde. So I just noticed that I should have some segment signs above these to show segment AB is congruent to segment CD. Now, when we are saying that they're equal in a drawing, sometimes we draw one dash and one dash to show that those are equal. And we could draw two dashes and two dashes. We just draw a certain number of dashes and match it with the same amount of dashes on the other side. Now, angle terms. So if I have this angle is 35 degrees. In class, we're going to explore this more directly. But if we look, this angle is directly across from this angle. So we say those are congruent. And you can see that I drew an arc with one line in it. So if that's 35, this is 35. Also, if I start at a line and I go around halfway of a circle, this is 180 degrees. So if I want to find this angle here, I take 180 minus 35, and that would be 145 degrees. And now this angle and the angle across from it would be the same. So if I want to mark those being the same, I'll make an angle, and now two dashes. All right, so if I know one angle and an intersection, I can actually find all four. So linear pairs are angles that add up to 180 degrees. And vertical angles are always going to be congruent. Now, our last two are complementary and supplementary. Complementary angles are two angles with measures that add up to 90. They could be adjacent angles like angles 1 and 2. If we add these two together, see how it equals 90. Or they could be off to the side where 165 and B is 25, and they both add up to 90. Same with supplementary angles, but now we're adding up to 180 degrees. They could be adjacent, where we have a line and the two angles are next to each other, or they could be separate angles and they just add up to 180. All right, hopefully that makes sense.